The history of my anxiety, and as I believe of most people, begins in childhood. There were certain problems in my family at that time, because of which I constantly felt tension, anxiety, and even fear. Over time, the troubles disappeared, but the habit of worrying, unfortunately, has not gone away. And I think anxiety is, in a way, just a habit. Or at least, that's how it was in my case. Because of this habit of constantly being in a state of anxiety and tension, I was a very close child at school. I had only one real friend, because due to the fear of social interactions, I could not afford more. I was also very quiet, because when, for one reason or another, everyone's attention was drawn to me, I instantly blushed and became shy. There was even a case when, at the end of the class, a girl sat down with me, for whom I felt some sympathy, and asked me something about my grades, but I couldn't even look her in the eyes. I lowered my head and hid under my winter jacket. That's how bad it was. Social awkwardness was far from the only consequence of my anxiety. I often experienced panic attacks. My self-confidence was not even at zero, but well below zero. I thought that I was good for nothing, that I would never achieve anything worthwhile, that I simply couldn't survive in this harsh world. And now I understand that, in fact, it was my anxiety that put these thoughts in my head and made me believe in these depressive attitudes. Entering the university changed the sense of things a little. I had to share a room with 5 guys while living in a student dorm, and of course I had to communicate and interact with a lot of people. At that time, I felt as if I had been thrown into the forest, which is full of all sorts of unknowns and dangers. It was a very unusual environment for me, but it was the very fact that I had to go through a lot of discomfort and overcome myself that helped me achieve a small improvement in my issue. As contradictory as it may sound, after experiencing a lot of anxiety, I ended up feeling less anxiety. My social skills went up. I made friends, stopped avoiding eye contact with girls, and started spending time in groups of people. In general, this experience was painful for me, but it brought me many benefits and got rid of some shortcomings. To make my life easier, I had to go through discomfort, and it was a very important lesson. After university, I went home to my parents and got an online job. This job caused me an incredible amount of stress. I went out maybe once or twice a month, didn't talk to anyone, and drank alcohol. Of course, this had its consequences. A few months later, I developed a condition called derealization and depersonalization syndrome. I will not go into details about what it is, but I can say that I was in constant fear for 2 or 3 years. My state was like a permanent panic attack. I lost my sleep, and it seemed to me that I was losing my mind. My anxiety problem has reached a new level, and I had to deal with it somehow. How I got rid of it deserves another video, but I can say that now everything is completely different. I moved to another city and started a completely different life. Even though I haven't completely eliminated my social anxiety, I can now communicate freely with people without fear. I have developed a level of discipline that is not perfect, but a good one, which allows me to work out every day, read books, meditate, and engage in self-development in general. I gained confidence in myself and in my future, and I am grateful for my anxiety for that. I had a choice: get out of this terrible state and become better, or stay in it forever and suffer. And I chose the first option. I thought anxiety would be my lifelong curse, but it became my savior. Anxiety saved me from weak character, from indecision. If I had not had to overcome all that I have overcome, I wouldn't become who I am today, who I am now. We all have our demons, but it's important to confront them and draw strength from this confrontation. The only question is whether you need it or not. Stay strong and be the best.